Hi there, in this video I'm going to show you on how to perform the top 5 data analysis using AI agents. Now these top 5 data analyses are histogram, Pareto analysis, correlation analysis, clustering and outlier analysis, and you will see that we are going to perform all these analytics just using AI agents. So let us build an AI agent which is capable of doing all these 5 analytics. So I'm going to use my platform datajarvis.ai to build this agent, and you can also try it out. It is free to get started. So first of all, let us log in into the platform. Once we are logged in, you will see the different agents what we have created, and let us start by creating a new agent. So here you see a default agent which has got an agent node and it has got a tool node. So this agent node in fact is a large language model, and here we can choose a large language model. So for example, here we are going to select the large language model which is Datajarvis free, and you can see what this model inside the model hub tab. So here you can see that this Datajarvis free in fact corresponds to the Claude HiQ model, and if you want you can also create your own models over here as well as input your API keys. Now the agent node is responsible for understanding the user request which is expressed in natural language, and then the tool node is where the actual action happens. So here in the agent node we have to indicate what tools do we want to use. So here we can say that we would like to use the clustering tool and the data analysis tool. So the data analysis tool is going to do most of the analysis, but for clustering we are going to use a specialized tool which is for clustering, and you will see that based on the question which is asked to the agent will select the right tool for the right action to be done. Now let me also save this agent and give it a name such as top 5 data analysis. Now here we can also precise a prompt such as you are an helpful research assistant for data analysis. You will do various analysis asked by the user, and we can save this agent and then we can also validate it, and you can see that the flow is valid. Now let me show you what is the data I'm going to use. So you will see the data inside the data hub, and here we are going to use a data which is related to vehicles, and this data has got various information related to the different cars. It has got information on the technical characteristic of the car as well as the size of the car, as well as there is information related to the price of the car. Now let me also show you what these tools are. So for example, here you see a tool which is related to clustering, and this tool has got a function. It's a Python function which takes in the data set, number of clusters as well as columns on which you want to make clustering, and this tool is basically using a k-means function to do the clustering. So it will start by loading the data into a data frame. It is going to identify what are the numerical columns and what are the categorical columns. It is going to apply some pre-processing which is converting all the numerical columns using a standard scalar and all the categorical columns using one hot encoder. It will then apply the k-means function, and then it is going to also come out with an accuracy score of the clustering algorithm. It is going to put all the information into a summary and return back the result. Let me also show you on what is this data analysis agent. So this data analysis agent is going to take the data set as well as it is also going to take a question which is expressed in natural language, and it is going to apply some functionalities related to the pandas data frame to come out with the final analysis. So this would require a key because it is going to send the schema of the data frame as well as the natural language question to a large language model. In this case, I'm going to use anthropic model. The anthropic model is going to return back to us a Python code, which will be then executed, and then we will have the final result, which will be then passed back to the user. So let us now start asking questions to this agent. So let us ask a first question, such as, use the data set cars underscore data and give me a histogram for price. So let's see on what this agent is going to reply. So here it has identified that it is going to send this request to the data analysis tool, and it has correctly identified the data set from my prompt as well as the question, and then it is going to ask me to approve and resume. So I will do that. And here you can see that it has found different information such as the minimum, maximum, mean, median, standard deviation, and then it is also asking me what kind of tool I have to use to make the histogram. So I will simply say that use HTML code, use HTML, and let us see what it does. And voila, you have your histogram, which is nice looking. It has identified the different bins of the price range, and then it has also put the number of cars within the price range. So you can see that most of the cars here are within the price range of 5K and 10K. So this is pretty powerful. You got this information as well as visualization without writing a single line of code. And in addition, it has also given some additional information related to the maximum price, the mean price, median price, as well as the standard deviation. And it has also summarized all this information into a nice looking textual description. Now it has also identified the distribution is right skewed because you have fewer cars with higher price points, and this is very interesting insights what we have got. Now let us go to the next question, and we can ask that make a Pareto analysis for the price of the car. So Pareto analysis, in fact, is an 80-20 rule. It was created by a scientist called as Wilfried Pareto, who is coming from Italy, and he has given this very fantastic rule, which we use it quite often. It says that 20% of an activity is actually done by 80% of the thing. So let us see on how this 80-20 rule is applicable also for this particular data set. So once again, it has identified that it is going to use this data analysis tool. And voila, here you have the Pareto analysis, which says that there are just two price ranges, 5K, 10K, 10K to 15K, which account for 70% of all the cars in the data set. So as you can see over here, that the Pareto analysis indicates that most of the car, they fall under this particular range. So this is pretty powerful. As you can see that it has given this line chart as well as it has also given this bar chart. So it has also indicated that most of the price ranges, they fall under which part and what are the percentage of car which fall under this particular price range. So it has also given this information about the status of these buckets. So for example, red. So these price ranges have the most impact. So you should focus on our efforts over here. Yellow is important and green is tribal. So this is a low impact managed with minimal effort. So this is pretty interesting because it helps us to understand that what is this 80-20 rule when it comes to this data set related to the cars. Now let us also ask a more advanced question, such as give me the correlation matrix. So correlation matrix is trying to find the relationship between different fields in the data. So here once again it is going to use this data analysis tool, and it is going to find out what are the different relationships which exist between the different columns in the data set. So here it has finished the correlation analysis, and let us see on what it has done. So it has found the strongest positive correlation, which is between the weight of the car and the price of the car. You have a very strong correlation, which means that if the weight of the car increases, the price is also going to increase. So heavier cars cost more. So this is a very interesting analysis it has done, and as you can see that it has not only calculated the correlation matrix, but it has also given a descriptive insights about it. In similarly, we also see a correlation of values where there is a negative correlation. It means that highway MPG and curb weight are negatively correlated, which means that heavier cars have worse fuel efficiency. So this is pretty interesting, and you can also see that it has also come out with a tabular information indicating the strong positive correlation as well as negative correlation. In addition, it has also found the columns where there is no relation at all. For example, there is no relation between the price of the car and the number of doors. So this is pretty interesting, and it has also given an textual description about the key findings, which is very, very interesting. Now let us go ahead and ask another question which is related to outliers. So let us say find outliers in the price. So outlier is some strange values or values which are not as per the norm. So once again, it is going to use the data analysis tool, and here it is going to automatically use this interquartile range method to find the outlier analysis. So let us see on what it has done. And as you can see that it has first of all given the description of the approach. So IQR method in fact is a statistical approach which is used to identify the outliers by measuring how far are the data points from the 50% of the median data set. So here it has given the formula, and then it has said that it has found 14 outliers, and the outlier range is between 30K and 45K. So this is the upper bound, and this is the lower bound. So it means that all the cars, outliers means very highly priced cars or cars which have got very, very low price. So it has also plotted this nice visualization, and as you can see that you can see here that you have some cars which are very low price. So for example, you also have a price of the car which is 0, which is an outlier. It seems that there is some problem with the data, and on the other hand you also see some very highly priced cars. In addition, it has also given a list of all the different outliers, these 14 cars which have a very strange price, and it has also indicated the price as well as is it above the range or it is below the range. So this is pretty interesting. In addition, it has also given some kind of recommendations on how to use this outlier information. Now let us go ahead and ask an advanced question such as give me clustering based on numerical fields and make 3 clusters. So now it will go ahead and use the clustering tool. So till now it was using the data analysis tool, but because it has also got access to a specialized tool which is focusing just on clustering, it has decided that it is going to use the clustering tools. In addition, it has automatically identified the columns which are numeric based on the previous analysis which it has done. So let us approve and resume. And it has completed the clustering, and let us see what it has done. And here you can see that it has created 3 clusters. It has used 10 features which correspond to the numerical columns, and it has also given a silhouette score which indicates the accuracy. And here we have the 3 clusters. So cluster 0 corresponds to the economical cars, and it has also given the information related to the average price as well as other numerical features. Cluster 1 corresponds to the premium car, and cluster 2 corresponds to the mid-range car. And it has also given some key insights on how to use this clustering information. In addition, it has also given the number of cars which fall under all these three clusters, and it has also given a comparison of different numerical fields related to these clusters. So this is pretty powerful, and it helps us to understand on what are the different clusters or segments of cars which exist in the data set. Now let us do one thing. Let us also ask one more question, which is make a HTML dashboard using the 5 analyses which you have made. Put all analysis in a separate tab. And we can also ask make the dashboard in dark mode. So let us see on what the agent is going to do. And voila, it has completed the 5 analytics and it has put everything in a dashboard. So here you can see a nice looking dashboard, which is Cars Analytics dashboard. So first we have the tab related to the histogram information. Then we have the tab which is related to the Pareto analysis. Then we have the tab which is related to the correlation matrix. And then we also have the tab which is related to the outliers. And we also have the tab which is related to the k-means clustering. So as you can see that this is really powerful. You have one agent which is going to identify what is your prompt, what is the request. It is going to choose the right tool to give the answer, and then it is also going to put all this under nice visualization so that you have a complete analysis about this data set. So I would recommend that you can also try this out. Go to the platform datacharvis.ai and try this out and let me know your feedback. And in the meantime, please do subscribe to the channel, like and comment, and see you soon in another exciting video where I'll show you on how to build another exciting agent. Thank you for watching. Bye.